Hi guys, welcome to my channel. In this video, I will be covering complete unit 4 in cloud computing subject. I will explain each and every topic in detail. I will explain NIST definition of IaaS, PaaS, SaaS, and then I will explain infrastructure as a service, characteristics, suitability, pros and cons of IaaS, and summary of IaaS providers. And also I will explain platform as a service, characteristics, suitability, pros and cons of PaaS, and summary of PaaS providers. And also I will explain software as a service, characteristics, suitability, pros and cons of SaaS, and summary of SaaS providers. And also I will explain other cloud service models like NIAS, DEaas, STaas, DBaas, DEaas, and SECaas, IDAAS. I will explain all these topics in detail, and whatever the topics that I am going to cover in this video, I will provide all those topics and the timings in description. Before starting this video, please check in description. Guys, I will provide this cloud computing unit 4 notes in description. You can download from description. Guys, I have uploaded complete cloud computing subject tutorials. I will provide that link in description. You can watch from there. If you are watching this video for the first time, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. Let's get started. At first, I will explain NIST definition of IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. Guys, NIST, that is National Institute of Standards and Technology, describes mainly three types of cloud services. They are infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. At first, I will explain NIST definition of infrastructure as a service. Shortly, we call it as IaaS. IaaS is for IT professionals who need to manage and run software. The providers take care of hardware like server, storage, network. Users handle the applications they run on the cloud. Example, AWS and Google Cloud. Guys, I will give one example so that you can clearly understand this definition. Guys, for example, let us say I am owner of one software company. My company developed one software. In order to run my software, I need server. But purchasing and maintaining server is costly. So what I will do is, I will contact to cloud service providers like Google Cloud or AWS, and then I will take one server for rent. And then I will place my application in that server so all users can access my application. In cloud, whenever we select IaaS, cloud service providers will provide us only hardware like servers, storage and network. But they don't provide us any kind of softwares. Just they will provide only hardware. And this IaaS is mainly used by administration team in software companies. Next I will explain NIST definition of PaaS, that is platform as a service. Guys, PaaS is mainly used by developers who write code in order to develop applications. PaaS is for developers who want to build and deploy applications without worrying about the underlying infrastructure. The provider manages the platform and the developers focus on their application. Guys, whenever we select IaaS, we will get only hardware. But whenever you select PaaS, we will get both hardware and as well as some softwares in order to develop and deploy our application. Software developers, after writing code, they will place that software in server. So placing our software in server is known as deployment. So whenever we select a PaaS, developers will provide us both hardware and as well as some softwares in order to build and deploy our application. So whenever we select a PaaS in cloud, cloud service providers will provide us both hardware and some softwares in order to build and deploy our application. Guys, for example, if you consider AWS Cloud, in AWS Cloud, whenever we select a PaaS, AWS provides one of the famous service called AWS Elastic Beanstalk. Developers, after writing code, whenever they place code in Elastic Beanstalk, Beanstalk will automatically place our code in server and Beanstalk will monitor our application and it will manage our server. And third one is software as a service. Shortly we call it as SECaas. SECaas is for regular users who want to use applications over the internet. Provider manages everything and users simply use the software. Example includes Google Apps and Microsoft Office Word 365. Guys, in cloud, people like us will select SECaas service. If you consider IaaS will provide only hardware. If you consider PaaS will provide hardware and some softwares related to software development. And whereas if you consider SECaas SECaas provides both hardware and various kinds of applications based on our requirement. For example, let us say I want to use MS Office in cloud. So simply I will select SECaas service, I will select server, and then I will select MS Office application, and then I will use. Guys, there are different types of cloud deployment models. And the first one is public cloud. Anyone can use public cloud by using internet. For example, if you consider AWS and Google Drive, anyone can use them by using internet. So both are examples of public cloud. And second one is private cloud. Everyone cannot use private cloud. In software companies, company will create cloud setup. Only employees in that company can use that cloud. Outside people cannot use that cloud. So private clouds are the clouds that are created by software companies for their use. And third one is community cloud. Services are shared by group of organizations with common interest. Guys, for example, if you consider state government contains various kinds of departments, and all those departments will follow government rule. So all those departments has common goal, that is the data must be secure and all those data is sensitive data. And last one is hybrid cloud. Hybrid cloud is combination of public cloud, private cloud and community cloud. Based on requirement, companies can store their data in either public cloud or private cloud or community cloud. For example, let us say I have useless data. So simply I will store it in public cloud. For example, my company is handling big project. The data is very sensitive data. Now I will store the data in private cloud. Guys, in IaaS, application, that is nothing but softwares, data, development and testing tools, middleware and operating system. All these are installed and managed by IT architects. And whereas network, storage, compute, virtualization and servers, all these are provided by cloud service providers. Whereas in PaaS, application and data, that is nothing but we need to install softwares and as well as we need to manage our data. So application and data are managed by developers and rest everything is managed by cloud service providers. And whereas in SaaS, everything is managed by cloud service providers, including our softwares. Cloud providers will provide us softwares. These are cloud deployment models. They are public cloud, private cloud, community cloud and hybrid cloud. All these clouds provide software as a service, platform as a service and infrastructure as a service. In IaaS, user handle the application while the providers manage the hardware. In PaaS, user handle their apps and providers manage the platform and infrastructure. Guys, in PaaS, providers will not provide us complete softwares. They will provide only few softwares which are required for software development. Users simply use the softwares and the providers manage everything. Next, I will explain what is infrastructure as a service. IaaS changes how we use computing, storage and network resources. In the past, these resources were accessed physically in data centers. With IaaS, everything is virtual, meaning you can use them over the internet without needing physical access. Guys, in olden days, companies used to buy servers and place them in their companies in order to store files and data. And also, they used to create network setup in their company with hardware resources like routers and switches. Purchasing and maintaining everything is costly. But in cloud, with infrastructure as a service, companies are renting all these resources instead of purchasing them. IaaS uses a technology called virtualization to create virtual versions of computer, storage and networks from physical resources. Guys, I'll give you one example. Guys, for example, if you consider Google Drive, by using my computer, I will store my files in Google Drive. Whatever files you see in Google Drive in your computer, this is virtual. But actually your files are stored in Google company server. This is physical. So IaaS creates virtual versions of computer, storage and network from physical resources. That's for example, I will open AWS website and I will select a Windows virtual system. By selecting two servers and by selecting some configuration of network and some storage, I will take Windows virtual machine for rent. So virtual resources are grouped into virtual machines. Guys, just in online, I will open AWS website and then I will install Windows virtual machine and I will use. And this virtual machine works same like real computer. Just by selecting configuration, we need to create virtual machine. Rest everything is handled by service provider. These virtual resources are grouped into virtual machines, which are like online versions of real computers. The service provider set up these virtual machines and user can use them as needed. In cloud, Instead of purchasing servers, IT architects will rent those servers online and then they will set up the servers. Like they will set up network and load balancers. IT architects are the main users. They can design and manage virtual infrastructures such as network and load balancers without worrying about physical servers. The service provider manages the physical infrastructure, making it simpler for IT architects. These are the services offered by IaaS. And the first one is compute. That is nothing but in cloud we can rent virtual computers. IaaS provides virtual CPUs. They are like brain of the computer. And also they will provide some memory in order to run those virtual machines. And second one is they will provide storage. Guys, whatever computer we rent in cloud, for that computer we can select storage. Based on storage, we can store data and files in that computer. And there is also separate storage service. We call it as storage as a service. And third one is network. We can also establish network to our virtual machine in order to use internet. Cloud provides some tools like routers and switches in order to create network. We can select the routers and networks based on our requirement and then we can create network. And the service is also provided separately. We call it as network as a service. And fourth one is load balancers. Guys, for example, if you are running some softwares like Facebook in cloud, sometimes millions of people use app like Facebook at a time, which will give load to that software and the software performance decreases. So in order to overcome this problem, in cloud you can use load balancers. Load balancers spread workload across different virtual machines to keep everything running smoothly. In simple terms, IaaS lets you rent virtual computers and network online. The service provider handles the physical hardware, so you only need to focus on using virtual resources. Guys, whenever you rent any virtual resources online, you need not to worry about physical hardware. Physical hardware is present in company's location, so you need not to worry about it. It is handled by AWS service provider. Just you need to take care of virtual resources. Guys, this is structure of IaaS. Guys, IaaS providers will provide you physical infrastructure like compute, network and storage for rent. And there is virtualization layer where we can create virtual infrastructure from physical infrastructure. So from physical machines, users will create virtual machines. Like they will create servers, network and storage. Guys, single user will not use cloud. So many people will use cloud at a time. So each user will create one virtual machine. And there is load balancing layer in order to handle load. And in cloud, IaaS service is mainly used by infrastructure architect. Guys, these are services provided by IaaS providers. They are compute, storage, network and load balance. I will explain characteristics of IaaS. IaaS providers offer virtual computing resources and you only pay for what you use. Guys, in cloud, how much time you use particular resource, only for that you need to pay money. Same like paying electricity bill for what we use. These are various features. And the first one is on-demand self-service. Guys, in cloud, what you want, you can get that anytime. And second one is broad network access. From anywhere, by using any device, we can access our resources. Just we need internet, that's it. And third one is resource pooling. Guys, not only single user will use cloud, multiple users will use cloud at a time. So, resources are shared among many users. And fourth one is rapid elasticity. Guys, in cloud, we can easily increase or decrease resources as needed. For example, at first I took 1 TB of storage in cloud and my memory is full. So simply I can increase memory. For example, I don't need 1 TB of memory. So simply I can decrease memory. And fifth one is measured services. Guys, in cloud, how much time we use particular resource, only for that we need to pay money. For example, I will use server for 1 hour. So only for that 1 hour I need to pay money. Okay, there are some other special characteristics. And the first one is web access to resources. As for example, whenever you rent any server in cloud, there is no need of bringing the server physically to your house in order to use. Just by using internet in online, we'll use the server. So you can access servers and other infrastructure through the internet using a web browser. No need to physically access the server. Second one is centralized management. Even though servers and resources are in different locations, they are managed from a single place using a management console. This makes resource management efficient. As in cloud, resources like servers are stored in different locations. Even though servers are stored in different locations, Cloud service provider will manage those servers by using software called management console. And third one is elasticity and dynamic scaling. Guys, in cloud, we can increase or decrease resources whenever we need. This ensures we always have right amount of resources. And fourth one is shared infrastructure. Guys, in cloud, single server is used by many users by creating virtual machines. IaaS uses a shared model where multiple users share the same physical hardware but they have their own virtual machines. This improves resource usage. Multiple users will use same hardware by creating virtual machines. Fifth one is pre-configured virtual machines. Guys, in cloud, whenever we create virtual machine, just we need to select virtual machine, operating system, and how much network you want. Simply after selecting this, you need to click on create button. Just it will create virtual machine. There is no need of doing any other configurations. Everything is handled by service provider. IaaS providers offer ready-to-use virtual machines with operating system and network settings. You can start using them immediately or configure your own as needed. And sixth one is metered services. Guys, in companies, instead of purchasing server, we can rent servers online, which will decrease our cost. And how much time we use that server? Only for that we need to pay money. So instead of buying physical servers, you can rent resources. You are charged based on amount you use, making it cost efficient. Next I will explain suitability of IaaS. That is nothing but when IaaS is useful. First one is reduces cost for startups. That's if you are establishing startup company. So instead of buying servers, you can rent servers online. So which will save our money. IaaS helps startup companies save money because they don't need to buy expensive hardware. Instead, they can rent it when needed, which lower their total cost and increase their profits. So if you are establishing startup company, then in cloud, you can use IaaS service. And second one is handles sudden usage spikes. Guys, in some situations, if your company is using high resources, and in some other situations, if your company is using low resources, in that situations, you can use cloud because in cloud, we can increase or decrease resources whenever we need. IaaS is great when a company demands for computing resources suddenly increase or decrease. Traditional setups cannot quickly add or remove hardware to match changes, but IaaS can do this easily. And third one is low initial investment. Guys, if you are creating new company, then you cannot invest a lot of money in order to buy infrastructure and hardware. So in the situations, just by spending small amount of money, we can rent infrastructure in cloud by selecting infrastructure as a service. And fourth one is temporary needs. Guys, some companies need servers and hardware only for small amount of time. So in the situations, simply instead of purchasing them, they can rent servers online in cloud just for few months, which will save their money. Guys, these are situations where IaaS is not suitable for companies. And the first one is strict rules. Guys, some companies has very strict rules, like the data must be stored securely and the data is very sensitive data. In that situations, cloud is not suitable for them. So some companies have regulations that don't allow them to store data on third-party servers. They can't use IaaS because it is hosted on-site. That is nothing but in these situations, company will store data in their company itself. They will not store data in cloud. And second one is low usage. For example, your company want only small computer just for basic work. In the situation, cloud is not suitable for you. With less cost, you can purchase small configuration computers and you can use. If a company doesn't need much computing power and the current hardware is enough, IaaS might not be necessary. And third one is high performance needs. Guys, cloud completely depends on internet to work. So sometimes in cloud, IaaS may not perform well because of internet issues. So if companies want very fast performance in cloud, then there will be problem because of internet issues. And fourth one is need for physical control. Guys, in cloud, we will use resources like servers virtually. We cannot control servers physically because servers are present in company's location and the servers are handled by service providers. So if your company want to handle servers physically in their location, then cloud is not best option for them. Next I will explain pros and cons of IaaS. At first I will explain pros of IaaS. Pros are nothing but benefits. First one is pay as you use model. IAS charges you based on how much you use. You only pay for what you use, like renting. So you don't have to spend a lot of money on buying expensive hardware. Guys, in cloud, instead of purchasing resources, you can rent resources like server, storage, network, etc. And how much time we use? Only for that we need to pay money. And second one is lower total cost of ownership. Shortly we call it as TCO. Guys, in cloud, we need not to buy physical resources. We will just rent resources online. Cloud provider will provide us resources, which will save our money. So you don't need to buy physical hardware because you rent it from the IaaS providers. This reduces the overall cost of owning IT resources. Third one is elastic resources. Guys, in cloud, we can increase or decrease resources based on our need. For example, if I need more resources, simply I can increase it. If I need less resources, simply I can decrease it. So IaaS can adjust the amount of resources based on your needs. If you need more resources, you can scale up, and if you need less, you can scale down. This happens automatically, improving efficiency. And fourth one is better resource utilization. Guys, in cloud, based on your requirement, you can add resources or you can decrease resources. And cost of cloud is very less. So if you invest a small amount, you will get good returns. And fifth one is support green IT. Guys, if you purchase servers and maintain the servers in your company, it will consume lot of power. Whereas if you consider cloud like AWS, instead of companies purchasing servers, they will take servers for rent in cloud. And single server is used by many people. So cloud is eco-friendly. Next I will explain cons of IaaS, that is nothing but drawbacks of IaaS. First one is security issues. Guys, in cloud, we'll use resources virtually, and cloud completely depends on hypervisors. So in cloud, we'll use virtualization technology, which depends on hypervisors. Guys, hypervisors are softwares that will manage resources like CPU, hardware, servers, etc. So if any hacker hack hypervisor, our complete data can be accessed by hacker, which will damage security. So if you are handling any sensitive data, then choosing cloud is not good option for you. And second one is interoperability issues. As for example, let us say I stored my complete data in AWS cloud. Now I want to move that complete data to Google cloud, but it is very tough. AWS provider will not accept that. So different IaaS providers use different standards, making it hard to move virtual machine from one provider to another provider. So you need to log with only one provider. And third one is performance issues. Guys, cloud completely depends on internet to work. So in your area, if internet is not good, then we cannot utilize cloud services efficiently. IaaS resources come from multiple servers connected over a network. The speed of network affects the performance. If network is slow, then virtual machines will not perform well. Next I will explain summary of IaaS providers. Guys, there are many companies, both public and private, will provide infrastructure as a service. IaaS providers will give resources like virtual machine, storage, network to users. Guys, this table shows IaaS providers and the details like license, deployment model, host operating system, guest operating system, and support hypervisors. First IaaS provider is Amazon Web Services. So license is not open source. License is proprietary and deployment model is public. That is nothing but everyone can use these services. And whereas host OS is nothing but operating system which is used by AWS company service provider. There is no specific operating system. So operating system is not available. And guest OS is nothing but operating system which is used by IaaS users. Based on our requirement, either we can use Linux or Windows or any other operating system. It is our choice. And next one is support hypervisors. Guys, hypervisor is nothing but it is a software. By using that software, AWS will create and run virtual machines. AWS will use Zen hypervisor. Second IaaS provider is Google Compute Engine. License is proprietary, deployment model is public, host OS is not available, and guest OS is Linux or Windows or any other operating system. And support hypervisor is KVM. And third IaaS provider is Microsoft Azure. License is proprietary, deployment model is public, host OS is not available, and guest OS is either Linux or Windows or any other. And hypervisor is Azure hypervisor. Fourth one is Eucalyptus. Operating system is open source and deployment model is private or hybrid. That is nothing but services are not available to everyone. Only specific companies will contact to Eucalyptus. This Eucalyptus will provide services only to few companies. We cannot use Eucalyptus directly like AWS and Google Cloud. And host OS is Linux. Eucalyptus service provider will use Linux operating system. And guest OS can be either Linux or Windows. And it will support hypervisors like Xen, KVM and VMware. And second one is Apache Cloud Stack. License is open source and deployment model is private. Guys, private is nothing but cloud setup is done in company itself. We cannot use the service over the internet. Host OS is Linux and guest OS is Windows, Linux or BSD. And support hypervisors are KVM, vSphere, Xen Server, XCP. And next IaaS provider is OpenEbula. License is Apache 2, which is open source. And deployment model can be either public or private or hybrid. Everyone can use this service by using internet, or companies can also create private cloud setup in their company, or they can use both at a time. Host OS is Linux, guest OS is Windows or Linux, and they will support hypervisors like Xen, KVM and VMware. And last one is OpenStack. License is Apache 2, which is open source, and deployment model can be either public or private. Host OS is Linux and guest OS can be either Windows or Linux or BSD. And support hypervisors are libvirt, Hyper-V, VMware and others. Guys, host OS is nothing but operating system which is installed by service provider in each system. You need not to worry about it. And whereas guest OS is nothing but operating system which is installed in our virtual machine. Commonly we will install Windows or Linux. If it is public cloud, only we need to handle guest OS. But whereas if you are using private cloud, both guest OS and host OS, both must be installed by us and we need to handle that. Next I will explain what is platform as a service. Platform as a service changes how software is made and used. In the old way, software was created on a local computer and then moved to a central server to be used. Once the software was created, companies has to buy a license to use it legally. Guys, for example, one company got project in order to create college software. So, developers will install various kinds of tools and softwares in their computer in order to develop college software. Once code is ready, they will move that code to server. So, if complete software is ready, then company need to buy license in order to launch that software. Once company launches that software, everyone can use that software. This is olden technique because developers need to install various kinds of tools in their computer in order to create software. So installing various kinds of tools is time-taking process and it is costly. With PaaS, software development happens online. PaaS providers give developers tools and services from a data center over the internet. So developer don't need to set up everything on their own computer. As a developer, instead of installing tools in your computer, you can use cloud like AWS. In cloud, you can select a platform as a service, so you will get an operating system with various kinds of tools in order to develop software, and it is very less cost. So in olden days, developers used to install tools in their local computer in order to develop software. But instead of that, we can use cloud like AWS. In cloud, you need to select a platform as a service, so you will get selected operating system as well as various kinds of tools in order to develop software. Yes, PaaS offers online development and as well as some tools and services. Online development means, for example, if you consider AWS, AWS is online cloud. That means in AWS, you can create software and also you can launch the same software in AWS itself. So developers can create and immediately launch their application on the same platform. Guys, PaaS also offers tools and services. PaaS provides various kinds of tools like programming languages like Turbo, C, Python, etc. and also application frameworks, databases, testing tools and deployment tools over the internet. This makes it easier and cheaper for developers as they don't have to buy or maintain these tools themselves. Guys, if you purchase all these tools, it is very costly. But in cloud like AWS, we can select a platform as a service and we can use all these tools with very less cost. And how much time we use these tools? Only for that we need to pay money. Same like paying electricity bill for what we use. Yes, PAs provide tools like programming languages. That means PAs supports various kinds of tools like Java, Python, PHP, Ruby, etc. And also PAs provides application frameworks. Because application framework is nothing but predefined code. Instead of writing code again and again, we can use frameworks. This framework make developer easier. Example, Node.js, WordPress, Django, Rails, etc. Guys, PAS also provides database tools in order to create and manage databases. PAS provides tools like PostgreSQL, MongoDB, and Redis. And PAS also provides various kinds of other tools in order to develop, test, and deploy applications. Guys, deployment is nothing but after developing and testing our code, placing our code in server is known as deployment. Even for that, PAS provides various kinds of tools. Guys, this is structure of PAS. PAS providers will provide various kinds of virtual machines to various developers. PAS contains development and testing tools, and they also contains frameworks, database tools, testing tools, etc. PAS providers, by creating virtualization layer, they will provide all these tools to each developer. So PAS consumers are nothing but application developers who will access all these tools in order to develop software. And there is also load balancing layer in order to handle load. So all users can smoothly access all these tools. Okay, these are services provided by PAS providers. They are programming language tools, application frameworks, database tools, and other tools in order to develop, test, and deploy applications. So these are 4 services offered by PAS providers. Next I will explain characteristics of PAS. PAS platforms are different from the traditional way of developing software. Here are key features that make PAS unique. Guys, these are features, and the first one is all-in-one. Guys, PAS provides various kinds of tools in order to develop, test, deploy, and host and maintain applications. And they also provide many programming languages, frameworks, database tools, and other services. This gives developers lot of choices. The second feature is web access. Guys, in olden days, if you want to create any software, then we need to install various kinds of tools in our computer in order to create software. But with PAS, you can access the development platforms through a web browser from anywhere. This makes it easy to create, edit, test, and launch application online. Guys, for example, if you consider AWS, AWS is online cloud. Just I will open AWS website by using any web browser, and then I will select the PAS service. So I will get operating system with various kinds of tools in order to develop software. So this is meaning of web access. Web access is nothing but by using web browser from anywhere, we can access cloud PAS services. Guys, third feature is offline access. Guys, sometimes developer may not have internet. At that time, PAS providers will help developers to work offline. At first, developers will write code in their local system when they are offline, and when they are back to online, they will upload that code in cloud. Guys, fourth feature is built-in scalability. Guys, if we develop any software and place that software in cloud, then cloud can handle heavy traffic. Guys, for example, if you consider Amazon.in, so many of them will use Amazon website. Even if millions of people use Amazon website at a time, that website can handle pressure because that website is present in cloud. So whenever we place any application in cloud, that application can handle more users or traffic. Scalability means that an application can handle more users or traffic when needed. PAS platforms make it easy to scale applications, unlike traditional methods where this is hard to do. Guys, traditional method is nothing but placing our software manually in company server. If we place our software in our company server, then we need to take responsibility of that server. Normally, if we place our application in our company server, it will be very hard for us to handle traffic. That is why we need to place our application in cloud. Whenever we place our application in cloud, cloud can handle heavy traffic, and we need not to take any responsibility. Cloud provider will take responsibility to make our software work even though there is high traffic. Fifth feature is collaboration. Developers often work in teams spread across different locations. PaaS platforms provides tools that helps developers work together on the same project, making it easier to communicate and plan their work. Guys, whenever company want to develop any project, there are so many developers involved. Even though developers are in different locations, all of them can collaborate each other and work together using cloud. So PaaS provide tools that helps developers work together on the same project even though they are in different locations. Sixth feature is variety of tools. PaaS providers offer different tools to help developers such as command line interfaces, web-based interfaces, and application programming interfaces. Developers can choose the tools that work best for them. These tools can also handle things like billing and subscription. Guys, developers can work by using command prompt, or they can also work by using websites, or they can also work by using applications. Based on their interest, they can choose any of these interfaces and they can work. Guys, next I will explain suitability of PaaS. At first I will explain when PaaS is good option. And the first one is collaborative development. Guys, if all employees are in different locations, if all of them want to work together, then PaaS provides various kinds of tools. Then by using these PaaS tools, employees can work together. PaaS is great for teams that need to work together, especially when team members are in different places. PaaS provides a shared online space where developers and other people involved in the project can easily collaborate. And second one is automated testing and deployment. Guys, deployment is nothing but placing our application in server. Once we place our application in server, all users can access our application. Guys, if you want to test a code manually, it is time-taking process. Similarly, if you want to place your software in server manually, it is also time-taking process. So by using PaaS, we can automatically test our application and as well as we can automatically place our application server. So PaaS provides various kinds of tools. By using these tools, we can automatically test and deploy our application. And it will save our time because there is no need of doing it manually. So PaaS will provide tools that will automatically test and deploy our application. And third one is quick time to market. Guys, by using PaaS, we can quickly release our application into market. I'll give an example. Let us say I developed software like Facebook. So initially I will release basic version of software. And then I will keep on updating the same software every month by adding new features. So by using PaaS, initially we can release basic version of software and then we will keep on adding new features to that same software again and again. So PaaS will support quick and repeated updates. Guys, by using agile method, initially we can release basic version of software and every month we can keep on updating that same software by adding new features. So PaaS is best choice if companies are using agile method. So many startups and software vendors use PaaS to speed up the development process and launch application quickly. Guys, PaaS will provide various kinds of tools in order to write code, in order to test code, and in order to place code in server. As we are using various kinds of tools, PaaS will speed up our development process. So for collaborative development, for automated testing and deployment, and if you want to send your software quick time to market, in all these three cases, PaaS is good option for you. Next I will explain when PaaS is not the best option. And the first one is frequent application migration. Moving an application from one PaaS provider to another can be hard because each provider has different standards, causing vendor locking. As for example, I developed one application and then I placed that application in AWS. Now I want to move my application from AWS to Google Cloud, but it is not possible. AWS will not accept, so you can't move your application from AWS to Google Cloud. Second one is infrastructure customization. Guys, in cloud, if you are using PaaS service, you don't have complete control on hardware configuration. Hardware configuration is handled by cloud service provider. So PaaS doesn't give full control over the underlying hardware. If your application needs special hardware configuration, PaaS may not be best option for you. Third one is platform flexibility. PaaS comes with predefined templates for programming language, databases and tools. This is great for general applications, but not ideal if you need something very custom. Guys, PaaS contains various kinds of predefined templates. For example, let's say I want to develop one website by using Python. Already there are so many templates available in PaaS in order to develop website. I can select any of those templates and then I can develop website. But if you want to create custom websites by using Python, it will be very tough. And fourth one is integration with on-premise applications. If a company uses PaaS for some applications and traditional on-premise for some other applications, it might be hard to integrate them. This is because PaaS uses its own specific technologies that might not match the on-premise ones. Guys, on-premise applications are nothing but applications that are present in company's server. For example, let's say I have one software company. In my software company, there are so many servers. And I will store various kinds of applications in these servers. So we call these applications as on-premise applications because their applications are present in my company server. For example, let's say I will store one application in cloud. If you store some applications in cloud and if you store some other applications in on-premise, then integrating these two applications is very tough because cloud PaaS will use various kinds of technologies in order to develop this application. And similarly, in on-premise, that is nothing but in our company server, we developed this application with some other technologies. So integrating both of them is not possible. So if company uses PaaS for some applications and on-premise for some other applications, integrating both of them is very hard. Next I will explain pros and cons of PaaS. At first I will explain pros of PaaS. Pros are nothing but advantages of PaaS. And the first advantage is easy platform management. Guys, in PaaS, developers need not to manage hardware and software because hardware and software both are managed by cloud service provider like AWS, Google Cloud, etc. So developers need not to manage hardware and software. Developers just need to focus on building applications. That's it. And second advantage is quick development and deployment. Guys, PaaS will provide various kinds of tools. By using these tools, we can easily develop, test and deploy our software. Everything is done in cloud itself. So it will speed up process. And third advantage is low cost. Guys, instead of purchasing various kinds of tools in order to develop, test and deploy applications in cloud, just we can rent all those tools, which will save our money. So instead of purchasing, we will rent those tools in cloud. And fourth one is supports agile development. PaaS will support agile development. That is nothing but initially we will release basic version of software and then we will keep on updating that same software again and again by adding new features. This is meaning of agile development. PaaS will support agile development. And fifth one is team collaboration. Even though developers are in different locations, all of them can collaborate each other and they can complete work by using PaaS tools. So developers can work together from different locations because PaaS will provide tools for collaboration. And sixth one is flexible tools. PaaS offers various kinds of tools like command line interfaces, web interfaces, and application programming interfaces, making it easier for developers to choose what suits them best. And seventh one is less maintenance. Guys, in cloud, server is maintained by cloud service provider. So in cloud, if you choose PaaS service, you can just focus on building the application because server is handled by cloud service provider. And eighth one is scalability. Guys, in cloud, we can easily increase or decrease resources. For example, you can increase system configuration or you can decrease system configuration. You can increase memory or you can decrease memory. You can increase servers or you can also decrease servers based on your requirement. This is meaning of scalability. Next I will explain cons of PaaS, that are nothing but disadvantages of PaaS. And the first one is vendor lock-in. As for example, I placed my software in AWS cloud. Now I want to move my software from AWS to Google Cloud. but it is not possible. AWS will not accept. Once you choose a PaaS provider, it is hard to switch to other because they use different technologies and standards. This is meaning of vendor lock-in. And second one is security concerns. Guys, we will store data in cloud. Whenever you store your data in cloud, the data is present in cloud company location, not in your location. Because just by using online, we are using cloud, but actual data is stored in cloud company location. So if you are handling very sensitive data, then choosing cloud is not good option for you. So your data is stored on the provider server, which can raise security concerns, which may cause security problems. And third one is limited flexibility. Guys, in cloud, whenever you choose PaaS service, PaaS provider will offer you various kinds of tools and languages, but these tools and languages may not meet your needs. If you want some other tools, then again you need to purchase from AWS. And fourth one is internet dependency. Guys, cloud PaaS is online. That is nothing but we will open websites like AWS or Google Cloud, and then we will select a PaaS service and then we will use. So everything is online. Cloud is online. And cloud completely depends on internet to work. So if your internet is very slow, then developing software in cloud is very tough. So in all these situations, PaaS is not suitable for you. I will explain summary of PaaS providers. PaaS providers are widely available in the IT market for both public and private clouds. As public clouds are nothing but everyone can use public clouds. If you consider AWS, Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud, everyone can use them by using internet. So all those are examples of public clouds. For example, if you consider private clouds, everyone cannot use private cloud because company will create their own cloud in their company location. We call it as private cloud. Only company employees can access that cloud. And some companies also offer private cloud to other companies. So there are various kinds of PaaS providers available in the market for both public and private clouds. Guys, these are various kinds of PaaS providers available in the market. And the first provider is Cloud Foundry. License is both open source and proprietary. Guys, proprietary is license that contains some restrictions, whereas open source means there are no restrictions. And deployment model is public. That means everyone can use Cloud Foundry PaaS service by using internet. And it will provide programming languages like Python, PHP, Java, Groovy, Scala and Ruby. And it will provide frameworks like Spring, Grills, Play, Node.js, Lift, Rails, Sinatra and Rack. And it will provide databases like MySQL, PostgreSQL, MongoDB and Redis. And Cloud Foundry will provide client tools like CF.CLI, IDEs and build tools. And next PaaS provider is Google App Engine. License is proprietary. That means this PaaS service has some restrictions. And deployment model is public. Everyone can use this service. And supported languages are Python, Java, Groovy, JRuby, Scala, Clojure, Go and PHP. And will support frameworks like Django, CherryPy, Pyramid, Flask, W2Py and Web App 2. And will support databases like Google Cloud, SQL, Database Store, Data Store, Bigtable and Blob Store. And will support client tools like APS. And next PaaS provider is Heroku. License is proprietary and deployment model is public. Supported programming languages are Ruby, Java, Scala, Clojure, Python, PHP and Perl. Supported frameworks are Rails, Play, Django and Node.js. Supported databases are ClearDB, PostgreSQL, Cloud and Membase, MongoDB and Redis. And it will support client tools like CLI and RESTful API. And next provider is Microsoft Windows Azure. License is proprietary. Deployment model is public. And will support programming languages like .NET, PHP, Python, Ruby and Java. And will support frameworks like Django, Rails, Drupal, Joomla, WordPress, .NET and Node.js. And will support databases like SQL Azure, MySQL, MongoDB and CouchDB. And will support client tools like RESTful API and IDEs. Next PaaS provider is CloudBees. License is proprietary. Proprietary means this provider has strict rules. And deployment model is private. That means everyone cannot use this service. Only specific companies will contact to CloudBees and they will take service. Everyone cannot use this service by using internet. and will support programming languages like Java, Groovy, Scala, and will support frameworks like Spring, JRails, JRuby, and Grills, and will support databases like MySQL, PostgreSQL, MongoDB, and CoachDB, and will support client tools like API, SDK, and IDEs. Next PAS provider is Apprenda. License is proprietary, deployment model is private, and will support programming languages like .NET and Java, and it will support frameworks like .NET, and will support database like SQL Server, and it will use client tools like REST APIs. And last one is Homologic. License is proprietary, deployment model is private, and it will support programming languages like Java, PHP, and Python. It will support frameworks like Spring and Grills, and it will support databases like MySQL, MongoDB, and Couchbase, and it support client tools like RESTful API. This is complete summary of PAS providers. So PAS providers will provide us programming languages, frameworks, database, and various kinds of client tools. Next I will explain what is software as a service. Shortly we call it as SECaas. SECaas changes how software is given to users. In the old way, software had to be bought and installed on your computer, but with SECaas, the software is available online. So there is no need to install it on your device. You can use SECaas services whenever you want, and you can stop using them anytime. Guys, I will give an example so that you can clearly understand this definition. Guys, for example, I want to install MS Office in my computer. So what I will do is, I will copy MS Office in CD or pen drive, and then I will install it in my computer. After installing MS Office in my computer, I will use MS Office. This is old style. Guys, instead of installing MS Office in your computer, we can use MS Office online. So by using software as a service, we can use MS Office online. Just I will open any web browser. I will visit Microsoft website. In Microsoft website, there is MS Office 365. This is online version of Microsoft. We can use Microsoft online. Guys, in order to use online version of Microsoft, you need not to have very high configuration computer. Just you need good internet connection, that's it. Actually, this MS Office 365 is stored in Microsoft company server. Just by using internet, we are using MS Office online. So your computer need not to have any good configuration, because this online version of MS Office is present in company server. So company server configuration must be good, not your computer. As Microsoft is providing MS Office online version, this is example of software as a service. Software as a service is nothing but companies are providing online version of software. Just by using any web browser, we can use those softwares. Instead of installing them, we can use those softwares by using internet. You can access SECaas through any web browser on devices like laptops, tablets, or smartphones. Some SECaas services works with thin clients. These thin clients are nothing but low configuration computers or laptops or smartphones or tablets. So thin clients are simple devices with little configuration and processing power. Thin clients are safe from attacks, last longer, use less power, and they are cheaper. Guys, these are services provided by software as a service. And the first one is business services. This include tools for managing businesses. Guys, tools are nothing but softwares. SECaas provides various kinds of software for business, such as ERP, that is Enterprise Resource Planning, and CRM, that is Customer Relationship Management, and Billing, Sales and Human Resources. And second one is social networks. Guys, Facebook, Instagram, all these are examples of social networking sites. Sometimes so many people will use social networks, and sometimes only few people will use social networks. If more people are using social networks like Facebook, we can easily increase resources, like we can add extra servers, we can also add extra memory, etc. And only if some people are using, we can decrease configuration, like we can decrease servers, memory, etc. So based on users, we can increase or decrease resources. Social networking sites use SECaas to handle many users because the number of users keep growing, and cloud computing helps manage this increase. If more people are using, cloud will manage easily. And third one is document management. Guys, many businesses will use electronic documents. So by using SECaas, we can create and manage documents. Guys, I already said before, MS Office 365 example. And fourth one is mail services. Guys, many people will use email. Guys, sometimes there are situations where so many people will use mail at a time. So if email usage increases, cloud can easily handle that. So SECaas will provide business services, and they can also handle social networks, document management, and also mail services. These are four services offered by software as a service. Next I will explain characteristics of SECaas. SECaas services are different from traditional software and offers many benefits. Thus, these are features of SECaas. And the first one is one-to-many. One application can serve many users at the same time. This means one version of software can be used by multiple customers. I will do example. Guys, this is an online version of MS Office, and the software is present in Microsoft server. So, by using internet, many people can use the same software at a time. So, many people can use single software at a time by using internet, and the softwares are present in company server. And second one is web access. Guys, by using software as a service, we can access any application by using internet. So, from any device, from anywhere, through web browser, you can access softwares. This is meaning of web access. And third one is centralized management. SECaas is managed from a centralized location by the provider. They take care of updates automatically, so users always have the latest version without needing to do anything. Guys, software is present in company server, so all the updates are handled by company provider. So you need not to update the software, company will automatically update softwares. So whenever you open website, automatically you can see latest version of software. So you need not to worry about updates. And fourth one is multi-device support. That's not only by using computer, even by using tablets, smartphones or any other devices, you can open internet. So by using internet, you can open any web browser and you can access softwares. For example, if you consider MS Office, not only by using computer, even by using tablet or smartphone, we can visit Microsoft website and we can use MS Office. This is meaning of multi-device support. And fifth one is better scalability. That software as a service can easily handle more users or only few users. If there are more users, company can automatically increase resources like servers, storage, etc. And if there are only few users using software, they can automatically decrease resources. This is meaning of better scalability. And sixth one is high availability. Guys, anytime, from anywhere, by using any device, you can access SECaas services. For example, if you consider Microsoft Office, whenever you open Microsoft website, always online version of MS Office is available to you. So even though if you store your files in online version of MS Office, that files will be secure and always available to you. Even though if there is any loss of data, simply you can recover it. So SECaas services are available almost all the time with proper backup and recovery systems to protect your data. Guys, whatever data you store in online version of softwares, the data is stored in company servers by creating multiple copies of your data. So even though if any data loss occur, simply you can restore your data. And seventh one is API integration. SECaas can work with other softwares or services through application programming interfaces, making it flexible and easy to connect with different tools. As for example, if you are using software by using SECaas service, and also there is one software in your computer, so you can easily connect your software with online version of software. So connection is possible. So this connection is established by using application programming interfaces. Next I will explain suitability of SECaas. Guys, in all these situations, SECaas is suitable for you. And the first one is on-demand software. Guys, for example, let us say I have office work and I want to use MS Office software only 2 days. So instead of purchasing with heavy cost, what I can do is I can use MS Office online version with very less cost. And how much time we use the software? Only for that we need to pay money. This is meaning of on-demand software. And second one is for startup companies. Guys, purchasing some software is very costly. So in order to save money, startup companies can use online version of softwares by using software as a service. So instead of purchasing softwares They can rent an online version of softwares with very less cost. And third one is multi-device compatibility. There's some applications like word processors or email services need to be accessible on different devices. Guys, for example, if we consider email, we'll use email by using mobile phone or tablet or by using laptop or computer. So if you are developing any application like email, then SEAS is good choice for you because SEAS works well on almost all devices. So which provide flexibility. And fourth one is handling changing loads. Guys, if you consider social networking websites like Facebook or Instagram, etc., sometimes more people will use that applications and sometimes only few people will use applications. Even the users increase or decrease, SEAS can handle user loads. So in all these situations, SEAS is suitable for you. Guys, these are situations where SEAS is not suitable for you. And the first one is real-time applications. Guys, by using cloud SEAS service, we will use applications online. So as we are using applications online, you need good internet connection. So if your internet is slow or if there is any connection problem, then you cannot use online softwares. So if you are handling any real-time applications which need high processing power, then SEAS is not suitable for you. And second one is confidential data. Guys, whatever data you store in online version of software, the data is actually stored in the company server, not in your system. For example, I will store some documents in online version of MS Office. But storing data in online version of MS Office is nothing but your data will be stored in MS Office company server. So if you are handling any sensitive data, then choosing SEAS is not good option for you. So SEAS will store data with third-party providers, which raises concerns about data security. If sensitive data is lost or compromised, it can cause serious problems. So SEAS is not suitable for applications that handle confidential data. And third one is better on-premise solution. Guys, on-premise is nothing but instead of using online version of software, installing software in your computer itself. This is meaning of on-premise solution. That's for example, if you install the software in your computer and if that application is working well and it is suitable for you, then there is no need of using SEAS. That is nothing but there is no need of using online version of softwares. Next I will explain pros and cons of SEAS. Guys, SEAS is widely used by individuals like us. And SEAS is also used by startup companies because it will save money and it has so many benefits. These are some of the advantages of SEAS. And the first one is no need for installation. Guys, normally purchasing software is costly. So instead of purchasing software and installing in your computer, just by using SEAS service, just you can use online softwares. And how much time we use the software? Only for that we need to pay money. So it will save cost. So there is no need of any installation. It will save our money. And second one is cost saving. Guys, if you want to use software only for few days, then instead of purchasing software, you can use online version of software by using SEAS service. And how much time we use software? Only for that we need to pay money. And third one is less maintenance. Guys, if you install any software in your computer, then you need to maintain the software. But if you use online version of software by using SEAS, you need not to maintain the software. That software is handled by cloud company provider. So if there is any problem to the software or if there are any updates, then automatically company will handle that. And fourth one is easy access. Guys, by using any device from anywhere, you can access software online. So you just need internet, that's it. So it is easy to access. And fifth one is dynamic scaling. Guys, based on users, automatically company will increase resources or decrease resources. Like they will increase memory, server, speed, etc. And if there are only few users accessing software, they can easily decrease resources. Like they can decrease speed, they can decrease servers, etc. This is meaning of dynamic scaling. Automatically based on workload, company can increase or decrease resources. And sixth one is disaster recovery. Guys, whatever data you store in online softwares by using SEAS service, the data is stored in multiple servers in company's location. So even though if there is any loss of data, you can easily recover that data because there are multiple copies of your data in multiple servers. So there will not be any loss of data. Even though there is any loss of data, you you can simply recover your data. So even though if one server fails, you can still access your data from other server. So your data will be always available to you. And seventh one is multi-tenancy. Guys, multiple users will use same application online. For example, if you consider MS Office online version, not only me, multiple people will use that application at a time. This is meaning of multi-tenancy. Tenancy is nothing but users. There are multiple users who will use software online. Guys, even though SECaas has so many advantages, there are also some disadvantages. And the first one is security. Guys, whatever data you store in online version of software by using SECaas, the data is actually stored in company server, so which is not secure. If you are handling any sensitive data, then SECaas is not good option for you. And second one is internet dependency. Guys, we'll use online version of software by using internet. So if your internet connection is not good, then SECaas is not good option for you. That is why you need fast internet connection in order to use SECaas service. And third one is loss of control. Guys, whatever data you store in SECaas, that is whatever data you store in online version of softwares, the data is actually present in company server. That means you have less control on your data. Next I will explain summary of SECaas providers. Guys, there are so many SECaas providers available. These are various SECaas providers. And the first one is Salesforce.com. They will provide CRM solution, where CRM stands for Customer Relationship Management. As normally this is used by company's manager in order to maintain relationship with customers. And second provider is Google Apps. They will provide services like Gmail, Calendar, Talk, Documents, Sites, etc. And next provider is Microsoft Office 365. That is nothing but they will provide online version of MS Office like Word, Excel, etc. And next one is NetSuite. They will provide services like ERP, accounting, order management, inventory, CRMs, e-commerce applications, etc. And next provider is Concur, and they will provide travel and expense management solutions. And next provider is GoToMeet. They will provide services for online meetings, desktop sharing, video conferences, etc. And next provider is Constant Contact. They will provide marketing services for email marketing, social media marketing, online service, event marketing, etc. And next provider is Workday. They will provide HR services, payroll, and financial management. And next one is Oracle CRM. They will provide CRM applications. And next one is Intact. They will provide financial management and accounting software. All these are various SECaas service providers and services offered by them. Next I will explain what is network as a service, desktop as a service, storage as a service, and database as a service, data as a service, and also I will explain what is security as a service and identity as a service. Guys, many people and small companies are using basic cloud services like IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. Because of these three services, cloud computing is very important in IT world. And so many people are also using network, storage, and databases. So cloud providers are providing these services separately. These are some of the new cloud services. And the first one is NIST, where NIST stands for Network as a Service. Network as a Service allows users to access virtual network services like virtual private networks and bandwidth on demand. Instead of buying expensive network hardware, companies can now use these services on a pay-as-you-go basis. Normally, if you want to establish private network in your software company, you need to purchase expensive network hardware like routers, switches, firewalls, wires, etc., which is very costly. But cloud provides you virtual network services, where you can create virtual private networks online, and you can also select the bandwidth of that network. That is nothing but you can also select the speed of that network and how much time you use that network. Only for that you need to pay money. Next service provided by cloud is desktop as a service. Shortly we call it as DEaas. Desktop as a service provides virtual desktops that user can access from anywhere. The service providers manage storage, backup, security and updates, while user manage their own application and settings. Guys, desktop is nothing but computer. Instead of purchasing computer in cloud, you can rent a computer online. Just you need to open cloud like AWS, and then you need to choose desktop as a service, and then you can use virtual computer. This virtual computer works same like real computer. You can store files, You can access softwares, etc. Providing security and providing updates are managed by cloud service providers like AWS. From anywhere, by using any device, you can open cloud and then you can use virtual desktop. Third one is storage as a service. Shortly we call it as STaas. Guys, in cloud, by selecting storage as a service, you can store data online. Guys, if you store your data in cloud, if there is any damage to your computer, simply you can restore your data. By using any device from anywhere, simply you can restore your data. By using storage as a service, users can store and access their data in the cloud. It is useful for backup and disaster recovery because the data can be accessed anytime from anywhere. And fourth service offered by cloud is database as a service. Shortly we call it as DBaas. Guys, in cloud, by selecting database as a service, we can create and use databases. Just in cloud, just you need to install and use the database. Rest everything is handled by cloud service providers. And how much time you use the database? Only for that we need to pay money. And fifth service is data as a service. Shortly we call it as DEaas. Guys, for example, let us say I have one small software company. In my company, we are doing project related to animals. So what my company need to do is, my company need to collect complete information and images related to animals. But collecting data, images and videos related to animals is very tough. So in cloud, I will simply select data as a service and simply I can collect complete data, videos, pictures related to animals. Cloud service providers will give me complete data, which will save my time. So by selecting data as a service, cloud service providers will provide me complete data related to my work. And sixth one is security as a service. Shortly we call it as SECaas. Guys, if you are using normal physical computer or computer in cloud, cloud provides you various kinds of security services like antivirus, intrusion detection, event management and etc. You can use these services not only in cloud system, but also you can use these services in normal system. And seventh one is identity as a service. Shortly we call it as IDAAS. Guys, without doing any setup in your company, you can verify passwords of users in cloud by selecting identity as a service. In cloud, identity as a service helps companies manage user identities and authentication without needing their own infrastructure. All these are various latest services offered by cloud. As cloud grows, more services are created in order to meet user requirements. In future, cloud will provide everything as a service. Shortly we call it as XaaS. In future, you might see more services like backup as a service, communication as a service and many more.